In this video, I'll be walking through how to fill out Form W-9 if you are operating your business as a general partnership. And what that means is you're working with 2 or more partners to transact business, but you're not organized as an LLC. So the Form W-9 is the request for taxpayer identification number and certification. What you're essentially doing is providing someone who's hired you to perform services with your taxpayer identification number and certifying that the information you just provided is accurate. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. So on the Form W-9, line 1, this is where you put your name as it's shown on your tax return. So as a partnership, you are filling out Form 1065, and that's going to be your tax return that the W-9 is referring to. So on this line 1, you're going to put the business name as it's shown on the face of that Form 1065. For my example, I'm Joe Smith. My partner's name is John. So just for fun, I'm going to call this, actually, let's call it J&J Plumbing. I often see, even if a business isn't organized as an LLC, sometimes they call themselves an LLC for some reason. I'm not really sure why they do that. But you could see, whatever, J&J Plumbing LLC. But for this case, it's just a general partnership. So I'm going to call it J&J Plumbing. Do not leave this line blank. Notice that. So in line 2, this is where you can put your business name if it's different from what's on line 1. Again, line 1 is where we put your name as it's technically reported to the IRS on the face of your tax return, which for a partnership is the Form 1065. Line 2, I'll leave that blank because we operate as J&J Plumbing. We don't have a separate doing business name, assumed name, etc. All right, jumping down to box 3. Check the appropriate box for federal tax classification of the person whose name is entered on line 1. Check only one of the following 7 boxes. So should we check individual sole proprietor or single member LLC? No, that's not how we're operating. C Corp, no. S Corp, no. Partnership, yes, that's the box we want to check. Trust and estate, no, of course not. Limited liability company, no, we're not a limited liability company. So this is a little confusing because you'll see over here, you might notice there's a P for partnership. That's if you were a limited liability company that is technically operating as a partnership. You would check the box for LLC and put a P here, but that's not the case in this example. This is a general partnership. We haven't filed an LLC. Perfect. Number 4, exemptions. We're going to skip that. Number 5, this is the address to which you'd like to receive correspondence. For example, payments from this person that's hiring you. Also, where you'd like to receive that 1099 NEC at the end of the year so you can report the income that person paid you or that company paid you. So I want to receive my mail at 123 Main Street in Nashville. All right, requester's name and address field. This is an optional field. I've rarely seen this filled out. I'm always impressed, but I'll recommend that you keep this blank because I want you to compile this form, save it in a secure cloud location, and have access to this just default generic W-9 for your business that you can send out to anyone who's hired you. Just imagine if you put a requester's name in here, each time someone hires you to perform services, you'll need to change that and complete it again. So let's go ahead and leave that blank so that you can have one default W-9 for your business that only needs to be revised if, say, your address changes, something with the company changes, maybe you do file as an LLC, you file those articles with your state, and then you need to update your W-9 in that case. So let's leave that blank for now. But if you wanted to, if you're not hired by several different companies, you can go ahead and complete that field there, the requester's name and address. 7, I'm going to leave account numbers blank as well. That's also an optional field. Okay, great. Taxpayer identification number. Enter your TIN or taxpayer identification number in the appropriate box. The TIN provided must match the name given on line 1 to avoid backup withholding. For individuals, that's not the case. Sole proprietor, disregarded entity, that's not the case. For others, it's going to be your EIN, your employer identification number. So even if you're operating business as a general partnership, you need that EIN to file your tax return. So you're going to put your EIN down here where it says employer identification number. Don't put it up in the social security number area for obvious reasons. So 1, this is a fictitious EIN, of course. Great. So I've completed part 1, and that EIN matches the name that's in box 1. Okay, so we don't want to add a social security number from one of the partners in the partnership because that's not consistent with what was provided on line 1. J&J Plumbing, 2 partners, general partnership, with our EIN for that partnership. Next is the certification. We're certifying under the penalties of perjury that the information that we've completed and provided is accurate, so that we're U.S. citizens, we're eligible and legit to do work in the United States. That's what you're certifying. So you want to have your partner sign here and date. So if you're watching this video, you're probably the managing partner. So go ahead and sign this form, or the tax matters partner. There are a few different technical names for it, but go ahead and sign here and date here. But if you're watching this video, it's likely that you're the person in charge of managing the compliance aspects of your partnership. Great, and that's it. So one thing I wanted to point out here regarding your taxpayer identification number, this is a secure piece of information for your business. You don't want this information to get in the wrong hands for identity theft reasons. This is more of a concern for a social security number, but also I don't recommend emailing your EIN or anything with your EIN included on it. Have a system in your business that you can provide a secure link to a secure cloud portal that you store your information. You can share that easily and readily with anyone who hires you. It's just really good standard operating practice for your business. So that's just a quick tip on protecting your information. Same for your personal social security number. You don't want that to get out in the dark web, have a situation of identity theft. You don't want to become a victim of that. So that's just a quick tip on that. Great. So I hope this video is helpful. Just to recap, we filled out the form W-9 as a general partnership. We listed our partnership's name on line 1. We selected the box in line 3 for partnership. We added our mailing address on line 5 and 6. We skipped the requester's name. And on part 1, we included our EIN, or employer identification number, for our partnership. And then in part 2, we certified that the information that we provided to the person hiring us, that this information is accurate. And that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this useful, and stay tuned for more content.